I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost.
Join us in the heart of personal transformation with Level Up Circle TV, your exclusive gateway to unlocking your inner potential and achieving extraordinary results. This TV show is your secret weapon for personal and professional development, packed with valuable insights, expert advice, and real life success stories. Are you ready to take the leap and transform your life? Don't just watch, participate. Tune in, take notes, and then take action. The journey to your greatest self starts here. So, get inspired, get motivated, and get ready to level up. Join us and let's embark on this transformative adventure together. Click that remote and let's start making your dreams a reality.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
One more. Guess who is my guest today? It is Coach Paula. Welcome. So let's do this, right? She is a clarity catalyst, mastering leadership vision. We're going to have two tools for you today: the 7 whys and cohesion with the body and mind. Are you guys ready? I hope you're ready because I know she is. And she is all the way from another part of the continent. We're going to get to know Paula. So, welcome. Happy Thursday. I know you saw me yesterday with my red hair, and people were texting me, great hair. Wow, you colored it. I'm like, guys, it's a wig. Like, hold on 1 second. It's my wig, guys. I have a lot. And my guests were like, well, why do you have a lot? I said, it's because I used to dress up for conventions. I go to comics conventions like the nerds, okay? I love to, if you see some of my video intro, you'll see a lot of actors like Robocop or the zombies or, all of the actors that we know in Hollywood. We go to Pasadena and meet them, or we go to San Diego downtown. I live in San Diego. And I like to meet them to pick their brain a little bit. Honestly, if I wasn't an educator, I want to be an FX artist, makeup artist. Basically, I want to, one of these days, I'm putting it out there. I want to be an extra zombie actress, but I don't just like want to die like, oh, you're a zombie. I want to die like an epic death. Like, I know I'm crazy like that. Like, I want to be a zombie. I just want to be a zombie, an extra zombie, right? But a cute extra zombie. I'm just saying. And I want to like do my makeup. I meet a lot of Hollywood stars and I need to pick their brains on like their career and advice for people who are in there because we know that Hollywood is Hollywood, right? So, yeah, and my kids dabbled on it a little bit, but I was like, no, that's not the life that I want them. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you think it's gonna be there. It's one of those things where you think you know and you dream about doing it, but it's the grass is not greener, right? You have no privacy. All of your depression, anxiety, all of your nonsense in life, like really bad adversity, the whole world will know about your business. So no. That's not something we want. What I do want for people right now who's suffering from depression, anxiety, and mental issues, or I shouldn't say issues, just mental break, because I too am having that same issue, especially on holidays and winter is this too shall pass. Everything, the dark clouds, you can't enjoy it going out, even though it's a beautiful day. That too shall pass. However, okay, an idle mind is the devil's playground, meaning if you're not doing something and you're not in a project or you're not doing something professionally to develop you, um, you're going to get deeper in there. So we want to make sure that you're not there. And I have a project called for Ollie. This is an Ollie project because he is, I need to cheer him up. The whole world needs to help me cheer my brother up. He's from Belgium. And we are doing a project called 60 Seconds of Gratefulness, right? So give me a video of 60 seconds, no more than that. What are you grateful for, and what inspires you? Right, 60 seconds. Does I didn't say who are you grateful for. I said what are you grateful for. A lot of people are like, I'm grateful for this person. Great, but what are you grateful for? If this was your last breath, you have 60 seconds. The last thing on your mind is what? What are you grateful for? Right? So that is the project that we're doing so that we can exit this year in good vibes throughout the world. You do have only until the 18th to do it. So technically, you only have about a week after the 18th. That is the cutoff date because we got to edit it. And we're also going to put it on this TV show on my E360 TV network. So all the Roku channels and the Amazon Fire people, you guys are going to be able to see all kinds of people and what they're grateful for. And hopefully, it puts a little smile on your face and reflect on what you are grateful for if you're not part of this project. But today we're going to talk about Clarity Catalyst Mastering Leadership Vision. Before I put Paula up, because we are currently on a note to my family, I Am Your Legacy book, published by my dear sister Nick, the gifted bipolar writer. The book's going to come out soon. It is already on Kindle. Thank you so much for your support, guys. But Coach Paula is going to tell us about her journey, where she's been, and then give us some idea of, as a business leader, how do you master creating that vision by focusing on self first, right? Before you focus on other people. I also want to do a shout out to my sister, Susanna Dawn. She has a class coming up, guys. If you are an author, an aspiring author, or you're thinking about writing, just thinking about it. Here's the thing. What do they think about taking her class? Right now, the bundle is the best way to do it because you are getting not only how to upload if you want to do your own thing, you want to publish yourself later, you never know, next year, you need to know how to, right? When we publish next, it's a team effort between me, myself. I usually say me, myself, and I, that's talking to each other, but it's going to be Nick, Susanna, Christine, and myself are part of this whole publishing. And so each one of us are going to publish our own book throughout the year. The next turn is going to be mine. It's going to be on, I'll do the author school in January, but we're not going to start working on that book until about February. And I just created the book cover. I'm so excited to tell you that on in January. Right now, we're going to support Nick. We're going to need that booked as many hands as possible because that is our legacy to our family. Okay? So I will see you soon. Oh, my author friends, guess what? Yeah, I got a couple minutes. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm like going down here. So I thought, I'm okay. You can't tell I'm a little extra, okay? I was born that way. I created a pen for my author friends that you guys can actually purchase. I know I'm extra, okay? Look, I have so many. It's not funny. Imagine like writing your book, like trying to sign for somebody with your beautiful friends. I have tons. Like I've literally created, I think I've gone addicted to these pens. I mean, look at that. Well, you can't see. It's so pretty. I have like hundreds. So I'm putting it on my website, but I'm a little bit busy with 600 students to teach this term. Grading alone is killing me. But imagine those pens for you guys. So are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and bring Coach Paula and let's go ahead and get to know her first and then talk about the tips that she's going to give us, right? And then you can start working with her like immediately after the show, okay? Coach Paula, are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I love the applause. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, talk to us. Give us a little bit of a whirlwind of where you're at right now in terms of location and what do you do?
Yeah, thank you, first of all, so much for having me here. This is a great place to be, and I'm very grateful to you. I was just thinking, as you were saying, the 60 seconds of gratitude, there's so much that I could pack into 60 seconds. But just putting it simply, right now, I'm grateful to be right here where I am right now, which is in Switzerland. I am in Switzerland, here in my kids' room, talking to you and to anyone else out there.
Awesome. I thought you were in Finland. I am so wrong.
Well, I'm from Finland, so you're not so wrong there.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, is she in Finland? I know you're from Finland, but I didn't know that you moved. You're right, you did move. So I'm like, wait, where are you right now? I can't keep up. Next thing you were like in California, like I don't know where Coach Paula is right now. So we're just gonna ask her where she's at. Um, give us a little bit of a slice of your life, really, on how did you go from A to today?
Well, do we have 6 hours? No.
More than that for sure.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, it would take a long time, but no, in a short way, yes. I come from Finland originally, so already a very specific, very small kind of population country. I danced ballet all my life. So I was trained as a ballet dancer. Went to study in the States. I didn't follow my dreams, I have to say, and that is the beginning, the little seed here that will carry on through to how we are today. So I studied, I went to the States, hence I can speak English really well, even though Finnish is my mother tongue. And yeah, and through there, the company I was working for, I came to Switzerland, hence I'm in Switzerland. And so here we are. And I went through a lot of things, always thinking, look, okay, what is expected of me? Because my dreams don't matter. So that's how I grew up. And always thinking, oh, 'cause it's not enough. Very perfectionist, very much always also internal, I would say internal perfectionist. That's a new term that I just came up with right now. Someone who's just, you can applaud, everyone can applaud, and it's always great and you do a good job, but internally you're always not quite happy. You know, it's not perfect. And even if it was perfect, it was not perfect enough. And so you're constantly in this state of not feeling like you're enough and not really getting there, not never giving credit to oneself. And that all this turned into a lot of turmoil in my life. So as I had my kids, um, it turned into a very deep depression. So I burnt out, and then that turned into a depression that lasted for 7 years. And it's so light to say now, and I'm smiling. It's not when you're in there. But now I turned it around. I'm was able to come out alive and to see and start seeing the lessons that came out of that. And that came through one word. And that was so clear. And that's why I talk about clarity. What we're talking about today is it was so clear. That one word was responsibility. And that one word came at a very specific time when I was just kind of in a place where I was like, who cares? I'm here. I'm ready to receive whatever it is to receive. I can't get worse. It can't get worse. I'm now out of my deepest depression. I'm alive. However, I had left my marriage, and so everything was apart. and having two kids and all this. I was like, who cares? I'm just going to go for it. So I participated in a Tony Robbins thing online, and I didn't even know too much about Tony Robbins other than he was like this dude that made people jump up and down. Like that was it. So like very skeptical. But he said responsibility. And then it dawned on me, it was like a light bulb, and it really was, that it has nothing to do with blame and it has everything to do with opportunity. And I had the opportunity to then, at that moment, to choose whatever I thought, however I wanted to feel, however, which direction I wanted to go, what direction I wanted to guide my kids to go. It was up to me. And until then, it was always like, oh, responsibility is like a blame. Oh, I'm responsible. I'm to blame. The same thing. And then, so that was what started it all. So I started, actually came to me in a dream. It sounds like weird, but yeah, to start help young dancers to become more confident. Because at first I was like, if someone had told me at the age of 16, 17, that my dreams do matter, and that the stuff that's going on in my mind, that whatever internal talk, that it's not true, and that you don't have to listen to it, and you have options, and you can create your reality. You can create at any point of time. So if I had had tools then, it would have looked different probably. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna, start with, people who are over 40, which I was and I am still over 40. So I didn't get younger. But so I want to help young people. So I created an app, started coaching, which I didn't call coaching, but I started helping young dancers go through the programs that I created for confidence. And then at some point, someone mentioned it sounds like coaching. And that's when it's like, this is what I always wanted to do. And now I'm doing it. I woke up in a dream that was real, and that was beautiful. So I developed all of that into becoming a certified coach for businesses and leaders and humans. And there we go. Now I'm a leadership and performance coach, and I do help both leaders and performers as well in becoming more of who they are, finding out who they are, what they're here for, why they're serving, what they're serving, and to just live a healthy, balanced, and joyful life, and help their people, especially the leaders, help the people who are following them to find the path to that kind of life as well, to health and balance and joy. And there we go. That's it. That's what I do.
That's a lot, actually. Quite honestly, it sounds so easy when we say it, but the work behind it, it's just wow, right? We've talked a lot about it behind the scenes, so people really don't see it. But my husband actually reminded me when I was talking about some things, and I just realized that one of my student passed away, and recently, and it's been difficult, like trying to see his grade book, and and in the past he's been a really good student, and I'm thinking, why is this all zeros? And then you found out in a hardish way, like, oh, sorry, Dr. Leland, I forgot to tell you so and so passed away. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And it's hard. And
Mm,
I was talking to my husband about that and what's happening, and he's like, I remember a powerful quote from Bruce Lee. And I said, what is that? He has a lot of quotes. And
mhm,
he says, don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one.
mm,
And you think about it, life is not easy. We always say it, right? We put a smile, we put a little mask that we're okay. But like you said, that internal perfectionism kicks in. And I think it's not an individual thing. I think everybody has it. It's just the degree of how much you have that constant nagging in your life that you want to be perfect inside, right? There's no amount of accolades that would stop that nagging, because a lot of people always ask me, why do you do what you do? Why do you continue to go to school when people not even one degree? And I said, you know how you have a career and you have looking for your purpose and I found mine. And in order for me, unfortunately in our world, it's a lot of those credentials and things like that. Regardless of what I say and what I have impacted in the world, credentials still matters in some capacity in others, right? Like, why would I listen to somebody who coached me who has never gone through life? Quite honestly, right? I mean, I can understand I learned from my bulldog. She doesn't even talk, okay? I can learn from everybody, but you get to be skeptical, like you said, when a 20-year-old tell you how to do life. I'm sorry. My daughter's older than you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she hasn't figured her life out. I'm sorry. I can listen to certain things, but when you're telling me how to live life at that age, when I'm double your age and more, I don't know. I get skeptical. So I said credentials still matters, but what I really do is I don't do it for the sake of doing it. I do it because I love it. And that's what I see in you when you're talking about clarity and mastering leadership vision. Can we talk about when I ask you, so what kind of tools and tips would you give or get out of a business leader? And you said the 7 whys. Talk about that a
Mm.
little bit.
That is a very simple, very, very simple exercise. However, it really digs to the deepest, deepest, deepest level of why you're doing what you're doing. Like, why is something important to you? And it always starts with the level one. So, why is, for example, a product that a company is doing that somebody is leading? Why is that important? And first comes one answer that's quite logical usually. Or why is, for example, for some people, yeah, or for a lot of people, money. Why is making a lot of money important? And it's like, well, I want to, live a life where I can choose what I buy, whatever. Well, then you go deeper. Okay, well, why is that important that you get to choose what you buy at any given moment? And then comes the next level. Well, because um, that's a sign of freedom for me, for example. And then so the next one. Okay, well, why is freedom important? Why is that important? And then you get to the deeper level. And at some point you hit this level. And this is something I learned from listening and following Dean Graziosi. So this is from him, and he got it from someone else whose name I've forgotten. But this is a method. And you go down all these 7 layers. And at some point you hit a layer where you're like, I don't know. I don't know how to get deeper. And then you just keep digging. Because that's when you hit the point where it's like just a surface level, and when it goes within, when it's really meaningful, when it's like when you go to, oh, well, as a child, I was always told we can't afford this, we can't, and I don't want to live like that. And that's already not surface level. That's going deep. And then when you go to that, and you still go down, and you still go further, and you hit the very, very bottom reason at the bottom, and I'm getting goosebumps just for saying this, is the why. And to get to that level of clarity for you to find the very bottom why for anything really is really gives you so much more meaning, because every time you doubt or somebody else comes and asks questions and you have to explain why this way and not the other way, why this decision, not the other, okay, well, this is the why. And it can be done on an individual level. So for any particular human leader, anyone, it can be done for organizational level, for the values that they have, which every company, organization, community should have a set of values that's very well defined, and to know exactly why and whatever that they are putting out there, because we're here to serve others. I believe that's the ultimate purpose of each one of us here on this planet, is to serve others. We're here to help others. Otherwise, we'd be living on our own little planets, I think. So that very at the bottom of that, the last why that you find will guide you through anything. If you remember, you remind yourself of that. Oh, that's the why. That's why I'm doing it. That's why we are doing it as an organization. And if that is spread out then as an organization to everyone around, every single person who works for that, and it doesn't matter if it's 100,000 or two.
Mm,
Everyone has to be on board. They have to know that why.
I love that. Um, I put a smile on my face when you said that why, because I remember my 3-year-old. She was the most annoying and adorable at the same time. She would ask every time, but why? But why? But why? But why? Drove me nuts. The last answer for her why, I used to answer because I thought it was cute. I got irritated now. I was like, because I said so. She's like, "That's not an answer." "But why?" Like, she literally would say that to me, and she was 3. And so, when you say that, you're right, because, the reason that I didn't wanna answer her anymore, because it was probably the 8th or the 9th why that I had to answer, but every time you do ask that question, simple yet so powerful, right, when you say that, is you have to think critically, "Why am I doing it? Why are we doing it? What are we doing?" Right? If we're not
Mhm.
aligned to that. And so that is definitely, I love that tool. Thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, for all of those, I get a text, LinkedIn. I don't see, this is not StreamYard, guys. Okay. This is not Restream. This is a different studio. So if you're on LinkedIn and you're commenting like crazy, you're like, CJ's not highlighting my comments. Guys, the TV studio does not have that capability. The only way I can highlight your comments in here, okay, is through YouTube channel. That's it. It's very limited at that capacity because they want to tighten it up, and not all over the place apparently because they have their own TV network. But it is downloaded 1.2 million a month, so we're good. But I do see sister here. Says hi, sister CJ and Paula. Hi, Dr. Trong. Happy Thursday to you as well. Paula, I have a question.
Mhm.
Um, this first one, it says, how can a leader articulate and communicate a compelling vision for their team or organization? Like, how would you coach someone? Because you and I were talking about this, right? Yes, you are a
Mhm.
leader, but you're also an individual. You have limitations and you have capacity. And what you do is you coach that individual so they can have their vision, personal vision, align with their organizational vision so they can help with their team, right? So, how can they
Mhm.
articulate and communicate that vision to their team? A, if they're not aligned with their own selves, what do you do first?
Well, before communicating it to anyone else, there has to be some adjustments done. If it's not aligned, then we need to find out what's missing, what's not aligned, where is it? And then one of those things that actually I do use, and it might sound a little bit out of the ordinary, is to go to the body. Like go to the body, because if it's not aligned, something feels off. Something feels like there's, some people feel like there's something in the chest. Some people feel like there's something in my neck, my shoulder, and my tight, tense, whatever. What is it? Where is it? And that's one way of trying to figure out, well, where is it? Is there a way to make and help to find the alignment? First of all, if it's not aligned and if you can't find the alignment, the drastic thing is you shouldn't be leading this organization. Because if you cannot find an alignment with your personal vision, especially if you're leading an organization, and then the vision for that organization is completely off alignment with you cannot unfold your leadership, your humanness, your anything in that place. So finding alignments, finding any place to have connection and be streamlined with the alignment of the organization is absolutely necessary. And
So
once
that
that's, yeah.
so basically, I'm trying to think like if I'm a leader now and I basically says, okay, I'm gonna ask my 7 why. Why am I in here? Why am I doing? What am I doing with my team? Why am I doing this? Right? Especially when you're stressed. You're like, why am I doing this? What was the point of doing this? Right? And you found out your whys. And some of your answer might not be so pretty, right? Because it's some
Mhm.
of our answers are superficial. and ego boosting. But then when you really dig deep and you're like, aha, this is why I did it because of this, right? You found out yourself, but then you figure out, okay, this company right now that I work for is not quite in alignment with my own why, but they pay me a lot of money, Paula.
Mm.
What do you do then?
Then it's finding that balance. How much? Yes, money matters too. That's for sure. Yeah, it's supposed to matter, and it's okay to matter. However, where's the balance? Like right now, for example, now it's yeah, they pay the good money. However, it could be that, if I leave and I know that I can find something, I know you can trust that you will find something. Maybe you even have an idea. Maybe you've even had like a fleeting thought at some point that about something else. Well, what if you remembered that? What if something else, give yourself opportunities, because if you're not aligned, that money is not gonna help in any way, shape, or form, because then it's just money. And it's not gonna you are gonna drive yourself, first of all, nuts. You might make yourself sick. You're gonna make other people sick. You're gonna, burn out. It's a burnout. You're getting physically sick. You're gonna get mentally ill, or you're just not gonna be feeling good at any point of time. And whether you're at work or outside of work, so it's pretty much like destroying yourself from the inside out. So that
I'm so
alignment is absolutely necessary.
I'm so glad you said that because I've seen people, right? Even small workers, not even a leader, just a worker. You go to meet them at restaurants and they give you attitude. First thing I say is like, if you're so unhappy, quit. If you're so unhappy, quit. Why are you dealing with, the public and you're so snappy? In the back of my head, maybe they can't find a job that they think they can, right? Because we're always stuck in that mentality that money is life, when in reality, when you're just chasing money and the dollar sign, you're actually not going to be happy because like you said, you're going to make yourself sick, and at the same time, that money is not going to be enough to pay for your sickness. Literally, it's not enough, right? It's
Mhm,
like it's between that money and your life, pretty much at that point. There's no balance. Like you got to choose
mhm,
life. Otherwise, that choice of money, it's going to come. That's why I said money is friendship over money at any time, at any point. When it comes to business partnership and my partners are my friends, especially
mhm,
if I'm really, I like, guys, money is great. We can find it, but we are not going to give up friendship based on money. It's not worth it, right? We need to
mhm,
understand that at the very beginning. And so I love that you said that. I love your 7 whys, and I love the alignment of your body because you're right. Most of us actually, I don't know if you know this, but when you are stressed, you take it in your gut
mm,
because your gut is actually your second brain. There's science behind it, and took me a while to realize that every time that I would get stressed out, I would get nauseous, and I feel like I need to go blah. And I was like, why is that? And then I get so much problem in my tummy. It hurts like every time. I feel bloated. Like I don't understand. And then I'm like, aha. Now that makes sense. The more I know about it, and I was like, so when you feel something in your body, like you said, it's
mhm.
time to exit out. Like you need
Yeah,
to
or
plan.
yeah, or there's a way to also to once you identify, or you can, through just really closing your eyes and concentrating, where do I feel it? Because there will be a specific place. And then you can also imagine, you can visualize to yourself, well, what would alleviate that kind? What would make this pain or this pressure or this whatever it is, just what would alleviate it? And your mind will tell you, your body will tell you, okay, this kind of thought or this kind of something. And then you can kind of ease it out a little bit. And then you can go into the kind of, more surface level actions with working with your brain, your mind, to find out alignments once you've figured out where it is in the body and what I can do about it. And then you can go to the mind level. So it's not immediately if you feel like, we're not aligned, you can still find alignment. You can find, well, is there something that, or which would be the points where we do align? Because for some reason you are in that organization. You weren't just put in there from outer space and blop, end up being there. No, you were selected most likely. Or it was your own company that you've been building up.
Or you can
There's
get
something.
kicked out of your own company, which happens.
It does,
You
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not in alignment with the people's values anymore, which is money, money, money. It's just so crazy how we can't find that balance between people and money. It's just greed all over the place. My next question is, what are some of the key elements of effective communications for leaders, and how can these be translated into leadership day-to-day routine? Because sometimes, as business leaders, we're so busy and inundated with putting fires, right? Oh, this needs signature. Oh, this so and so needs help. So and so has having issues, so you gotta call HR. And we're so busy on just putting fires that sometimes we can't even do our own job, which is leading the team in the first place, because you're so inundated. What are some of the tips that you provide for your business leaders when you coach them on how they can communicate, like keep their own processes? Because nobody sees that. The only people that will see that is you and whoever is your secretary, if you had one. And then, even then, they don't really know the whole brain process that you're doing. So, when you coach business leaders, what are some of the tips that you provide for them? Like, hey, you're stressed out, I get it. But how you communicate with your team makes a huge difference if you're going to add more problems to your plate.
It's very simple. Listen more. Listen. Anything there's going on, if there's some, fires to be put out, that just means it's like a chaos, but then something needs to calm it down. And it's the leader. It's the leader who has to show the way and be like, oh, let's calm things down. And in any case, if you imagine like a place full of people and everyone's talking at the same time, you can't hear anything. But then someone needs to calm it down. But wait, listen. And so listen to the people. Just what's going on, and listen not just with the ears, because yes, that's also, we do communicate with the words, but most of all we communicate through our bodies. So listen with the eyes, listen to and see how you can interpret or start to kind of understand the people in front of you in a different level when you're really listening, really holding your tongue and not interrupting the pause that comes. That even especially in today's world, when we're so used to having noise all the time, that if there's a second of silence, we get uncomfortable. Well, let it be. Let there be even 3 seconds of silence, 5 seconds of silence, because that silence is needed. So that's when people's thoughts start to take another form or shape. That's where ideas and insights have a space to develop. So the pauses, everything, just listen. I think that one of the most important traits for any leader, any human actually, would be to be able to listen. And that as a major part of communication.
It takes a good amount of intentions and practice to really listen. Even I have issues with that, and I teach listening and communication skills. So I'll be honest, I'm like, ooh. And now I figure out it's not an excuse, but it is happening. And I was like, that's one of my problem, is because I'm trying to combat my ADHD moment. I recently got diagnosed with ADHD, adult ADHD. That's another emotions I have to process on the side. But that news, I had mixed feelings. I was sad. I wasn't angry. It actually gave clarity to some of the questions that everyone's always asking me, like, how do you do what you do, and how do you keep your energy, and how? And I was like, that make a whole lot of sense. And I was actually kind of disheartened that there are so many undiagnosed women. It took me 5 psychiatrists to get it diagnosed. um, and the tools that could help them better communicate with their partners, with their business, with their managers, right? With themselves, and try to forgive yourself. You can't forgive yourself for all the mistakes that you're getting instead of just focusing on that when you don't understand your entire being. And understanding your entire being, it doesn't take overnight, not even one news. It's a whole journey. But being intentional, like God literally gave us 2 ears. What does that mean? Hello, listen more. And I have an issue with that too. And the reason that I even seek help, because the way my family is giving me feedback, like my husband, I've been married 20 years, and he's like, why are you getting worse, that you're getting older, like you're not listening to me? Like, I don't feel recognized when I'm talking to you. After 5 seconds you just move on to a different conversation. And I was like, why are you having this issue? I don't have issues with anybody but you. And she's like, because I live with you and I have to listen to you. And I was like, oh, this is, I know.
Mhm.
I don't know. And then when someone tells me, oh, this is your issue, I was like, it's a gift and a curse at the same time. So you just have to find, like you said, that harmony. For me, it's harmony, finding that right moment and sequence to
Mhm.
harmonize. It's like my yin and yang. It's a darkness and a light at the same time for me. So yeah, thank you so much for doing that. Now, my last question before you give us your tidbits is, how can a business leader leverage clarity as a tool for communication and leadership development within their organization?
That's a great question. And the clarity is just, first of all, everything starts from the inside out. So to be as clear as possible as a leader, what kind of a leader and what kind of an influence do you want to give? And that clarity from within will be well articulated, whether it's in writing or whether it's speaking to your people. Once you're clear on the inside, you will have the right way to communicate it. And to be just, I always like minimalist and the simplest ways to do so. So no, big decorations, just be kind and just follow your instinct. And I know especially a lot of male leaders are have a little bit of an issue, or some of them have an issue about with this, with following your intuition. But yes, for all the great leaders in this world, they have, in the end, that's what you trust. It's your gut, your intuition. Call it whatever you want. If intuition sounds too, well, I don't know what, whatever, that's inner feeling that, and that will always guide you in the right direction, because your higher self, your inner being will know where you need to go. It will know what words need to be communicated. It will know when you need to be silent for a while, and it will know how to give kindness and how to spread balance and healthy life and joy into the organization or the people who follow you, because a leader is a leader only when people follow you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very important thing to keep in mind. So in communication and anything, how would I like to treat my followers?
Yeah, for me, when I teach leadership, I always tell them you have to be a good follower in order for you to be a good leader.
Yeah, well, we are both. Most of us are both. We're all leaders in some way, shape, or form, whether it's our own lives. I hope we are leading our own lives. Or it's a leader of, I don't know, 100,000 people in a huge organization, or a country, a president leader also. But each one of these, even a president of a country, is a follower of many people who are leaders to them.
Yeah, but sometimes you think you can be a great leader, but you're not a good follower. I've seen people that complain a lot, right? They
Mhm.
complain a lot about their leader and, oh, they should do this and they should do that because they have a lot of opinion. But once you're in that seat and you fully understand that you have no power as a leader to make a decision for 100,000 people's lives, and you can just make a decision and not ask anybody else. That's not even how it works in reality. But people like to talk and give you ideas on what leadership should
Mhm.
look like because you're not in it. And that's why I'm saying you have to be a good follower in order for you to be a great leader. You're not just following aimlessly, listening to people without your critical thinking and analyzing, is this even make sense? I think we forgo logic most of the time because we base it on how we feel. Why do you think we get in trouble in friendship? Is because in our gut, we know it's wrong, but we make excuses for people that we like, right? We make
Mhm.
people excuses like, oh, she's just busy. That's why she didn't do it. Or, I'm not going to be able to do that because I think she's really, we're making excuses when in
Mhm.
reality, you already see what's wrong with people, but you don't listen to your gut because you're making excuses based on your emotions and logic just went out the door. But if you really combine, like you said, harmony between
Mhm.
logic and emotions, because without emotions you're a robot. Okay, it's just not going to happen either. So having that
Mhm.
harmony between emotions and logic, but don't get rid of logic and just go on emotions because you get in trouble for that too. Okay,
Mhm.
which I am always in trouble because I go with my emotions. Like when I'm mad, I'm like, I'm like, wait, don't react, CJ. List down, like, you don't see my calendar, but I have like lists of words not to use and people not to talk today, like, or people to talk today. It's because I'm like, I need to be intentional, because if you are not intentional, it just goes in sideways, right? And that's why I'm on to a lot of things, is because it's weird for me. I need to do little mini things in this thing, like, all because my brain's just crazy, so I can focus on one big thing. Most people will
Mhm.
just focus on one big thing and that's it. I can't focus on one big thing if I don't have anything going on in here, because my brain is like, cool, 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 cool. It's just busy. And now I know
Mhm.
why. I was like, yep, ADHD moment. I can honestly say that now. But you got to figure out your own self on what you want, who you are, and why are you doing what you do, right?
Yeah.
Paula, can you close us out and give us tools and tips on how not only to be a great leader to institutions, but a great leader to ourselves and the people around us?
Yes. One thing that comes to my mind right now is stay curious. Like, just stay curious. Take life and anything, leadership, life, whatever. Take it lightly. Not lightly in a sense of you don't care, but don't make it so serious. Stay curious and think of everything. I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything, but I like the idea of experiments. Experimenting. You as a scientist, they go and they experiment, they do exploration, things that are unknown, and life is unknown. I mean, the next 5 minutes, we don't know. Next 50 years, we don't know. So it's an experiment, it's an adventure. Stay curious within yourself, like for your own life, for your own self. That's how you keep growing, developing, evolving, getting better and more extraordinary. And in your organization, in the leadership, stay curious about the people that you are in front of you, because curiosity will help you just come up with the right questions. Like, well, you just want to know. And curiosity is really a key to just a more joyful life, I think.
I think so too. I'm always curious and doing projects, and sometimes I do projects just because they just came out. Like, and you know what the crazy thing is? When it just came out and I tell people, okay, let's do this, they say yes. I was like, what made you say yes right away? You didn't even think what's gonna happen. They're like, I don't know, CJ, you just have that thing. Like, let's just do it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got you. And I love that. It's like I create curiosity so that you can explore your own capacity,
Hmm.
right? Create that curiosity so that you don't know what your skills are. You don't know. I don't know what my skills are really all the way fully capacity. No, I don't know what my full capacity is. I don't know if I'll ever know. But in the meantime, this is where we at today. And thank you so much for your time today. I so appreciate you.
Thank you. I really, really loved this conversation. So much
Me
fun.
too. Yes, and it's calm, a lot of reflection, and a lot of golden nuggets. And thank you to our dear sister New and Susanna. Sis, I think her class, can you comment in here? I think her class is going to be on the 16th. It's a 2 hour class for a combined class, or 1 hour class for one class. So if you are an author, guys, do not forget. Go ahead and take that class. Let me see. I think she just commented. Nope, she didn't commented. But Dr. Dudit says, love that
Mhm.
quote. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one, to help and serve others. Yes. because life is hard. If you're going to pray for an easy life, it's never going to happen. And besides, you don't learn nothing from an easy life, right? Why do you think spoiled brat don't work? Because they get money from trust funds and they don't learn
Mhm.
nothing. But you don't see a baseball player that's amazing because they're rich. They came through for life's hardest adversity. Um, you come up with projects or push us to run with projects ideas we come up with. That's so true. If you're like, okay, which project? Okay, I'll support you. I love projects. Workshop, here it is, December 16th at 9 PST or noon EST. Perfect. Well, Paula, thank you so much for your time today. I hope to see you again. I hope you're going to be part of our 60-second project for gratefulness. And I'm grateful
Mhm.
for you and your time today. Wait for me on the green room, okay?
Mhm. Thank you.
All right. Guys, that was so amazing. I love Paula. She is so amazing. She reminds me a little bit of Stephanie Delfonso when my brain is like blah, and Paula just has that charisma that's like CJ, just calm down, focus on what our conversation is, and she makes me think about some things that I've already thought about in the past, but really are not intentional. It's kind of like when you drive through the food, you don't really get in and stop to whatever. You just drive through and pick it up. That's my thoughts. Usually I have a lot of drive-through thoughts. But Paula makes me come into the restaurant and enjoy my meal. And that's really who she is. So if you want clarity, even if you are not leading hundreds of thousands of people, if you're just curious about yourself, your capacity, she will help you find your why if you are still curious. I don't know what my why is. I think I know what my why is, but I really don't have any clue at this point. It's okay, right? It's okay. Paula is there not just to coach you, but to mentor you on finding out who you are or the possibilities of what might you will find out about yourself. So, thank you guys so much for coming in today. I love you guys. Love our next project, sis. Yes, and we have more projects to come. You guys have no clue. For those of you guys who are not privy, Level Up Academy is growing. Dr. New is part of the team. Susanna's part of the team. Um, and if you want to be part of the team, let me know because we have big projects coming up next year for sure. And we are taking over. And for all my YouTube subscribers, let's push for 10K. Prove my daughter wrong. She's like, oh, you might get 10,000 in January, mom. It's only like first week of December and we're at 9,400 or something like that. Let's push for 10K. Okay. Spread the words, guys. Spread the love. I love you guys so much. And please be kind to yourself. Do not be mean to yourself and say nice things to yourself because your subconscious is always listening. Have a fantastic Thursday. Have the rest of your week and happy Friday ahead of time. Bye, everybody. See you next Thursday and E360 TV. See ya.